Right. I was doing the tracker. I just switch it to
All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get started now. So welcome. We're gonna be doing some Firebase and Flutter today. And I'll go ahead and explain what those are. But my name's Yvonne. Abrup's in the back, and we'll be hosting the workshop today. So welcome. Thanks for coming out, guys. So a few things before we get started. Who am I? Currently, I'm interning at this startup called Art of Finance. I'm also a research assistant at Data Mining and Machine Learning Lab here at ASU. I'm also a senator for undergraduate student government. I've been a part of this club for about 1.5 years now. And yeah. So first, what is Flutter? That's the big question. Um, it's Flutter is a tool that was made by Google in 2017 that helps people build apps. But here's what makes it special. With Flutter, you can build one app and it works everywhere on Android, on iPhone, the web, and even desktop computers without needing to rebuild it separately each time. Whereas like before Flutter, you'd have to use you'd have to write a different code for iOS, a different code for Android, and then web is a whole nother story. Um, and so to understand why this is cool, imagine like you're kind of a chef that's making 3 different meals. So one for Android users, for iPhone users, and one for web users. And normally you'd have to cook each meal separately. Takes 3 times as long. But Flutter says like, what if you just cook one big meal? It just automatically adjusts itself for everyone's taste. And so that's what I mean by a single code base. Um, and yeah, so you write the code once, Flutter handles the rest, and it's like writing one recipe that can feed every platform. And it uses this programming language called Dart. Um, and think of Dart as like the language that Flutter understands. It was also made by Google. Um, and if you've heard of languages like Python or Java, Dart is in the same family, but it's more optimized for speed and smooth visuals. So it has some specificity to it. And so, yeah, here's one of the best parts. So Flutter has a feature called hot reload too. So if you've ever drawn something in art class, you know how annoying it is to wait for it to paint and dry before fixing something. Um, and in most coding environments, you have to stop your app, recompile, and run it again just to see a tiny change. Reload, you can change something and then see it instantly, like, I don't know, a color or a button's text. And it it reloads instantly, and you can see it one to one. And it's kind of like editing a Google Doc instead of writing on paper. So putting it all together, it was made by Google, uses the Dart language, and it lets you build once and deploy everywhere. And it helps you move fast with live updates through hot reload. So yeah. A lot of companies use Flutter. They kind of realize like this is the convenient way to do it. It is quite elegant too. So lots of companies you can recognize here, including the company I'm working for right now. We use it even for our mobile site, or sorry, desktop site. Firebase, this is the other thing we'll be working with today. So we've talked about Flutter, and that's the tool that helps us build beautiful apps. And so now let's talk about how we actually make those apps work behind the scenes. That's where Firebase comes in. It was a company that Google acquired in 2014, and it's kind of like the brain and storage room for your app. So if Flutter is like how your app and feels, Firebase is how your app remembers things and handles data. And so I'm kind of like an analogy here is imagine you're building a social media app like Instagram. Flutter would handle the front end, the screens, buttons, and text boxes you see. But when someone signs up, posts a photo, or likes something, where does all that information go? That's Firebase's job. And it's kind of like the cloud butler that quietly takes care of everything in the background so you can focus on your app's features instead of worrying about setting up or maintaining servers. And so here's what Firebase includes. Um, Authentication auth. This handles like user accounts, sign up, log in, log out. When you see like third-party login, like through Google, through whatever, uh, Firebase supplies that uh, with just a few lines of code too. So you don't have to build your own password system from scratch, which is a big thing for security. Firestore, this is a real-time database. Think of it as like a shared Google Sheet for your app. Everyone's data updates instantly. If someone posts something new, every device sees it right away. Cloud storage is where you can store like big stuff like photos, videos, files. And then there's hosting, analytics, even AI APIs, so you can track how fast your app is used, hosted online, or add AI features like chat or text integration. And so the big idea here is that Firebase kind of lets you focus on building features, not servers. That's the big idea here. The old days, if you wanted to make an app, you'd have to set your own physical server, deal with databases, handle authentication, write security rules, basically spend days just to get started. So Firebase is kind of saying like, don't worry about all that. We'll do all the heavy lifting. You just connect your app and start building. Um, so yeah. And so here's kind of a visual. It shows the difference between traditional app development and Firebase. So in the traditional way, when you make an app, your app has to talk to multiple things, your own servers, your own databases, maybe some extra like cloud storage for photos and files. And so that means that you or your team would have to set up and maintain those servers, keep them secure, scale them when more users join, and that's a lot of work. But Firebase, Google already has that built. It manages that for you. And so, yeah, I mean, it just turns what used to be a complicated system of wires and machines into one simple connection. You focus on the app, and Firebase handles the rest. All right, now for the fun stuff. Go to this URL. What it is, it's an empty Google Doc. It won't be empty for long, but that's how I'll be sending you guys stuff to copy and paste because we're going to be copy and pasting some code and some commands here. So go ahead and do that. It's in the next slide too, don't worry. The app we're going to build is pretty simple. The point is to just proof of concept, like connecting to a database, having it deployed. And so the app is basically like make me laugh or give me advice. So there's going to be two buttons. One of them you click on make me laugh and it'll give you a joke. This will be generated by Gemini. Okay, so we're going to use AI here, LLMs. We're going to make an API call. And then give me advice, same thing, but on the advice side. And if at any point you need help, just raise your hand. We have hands on the ground and yeah. Yeah, and also to preface, like within this app building thing we're gonna go through, there's some concepts that may not make a lot of sense. Like if you're a beginner, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to understand everything, but I'll do my best to intuitively explain the most important parts. So yeah, the first thing. So you guys are on that tiny URL now, right? You guys are looking at the doc. Okay. First thing is to just Google Firebase console. Okay. Okay. And I guess I'll share my screen here. I'll follow you guys here. It'll be a little hard, one hand on the mic, one hand on the computer, but okay, you guys see this? Okay, cool. Firebase. First link, and on the top there's go to console button right here on the top right. Press that. And so there's going to be a lot of step-by-step stuff because a lot of what we have to do here is wire the front end and the back end effectively together. And there's not an insignificant amount that goes with that. So yeah, just try to follow me here. Uh, Second, you guys see the screen? Okay. Second, create new Firebase project. Click that. Enter a project name. I'll just put in whatever. You can put whatever you want here. And then press continue. And then for this, you can say continue. For analytics, we're going to turn that off because we want to speed up the process a little, so you can just create project immediately. Um, and yeah, so, uh-oh. Okay, I guess you have to pick a unique project name. Someone beat me too. I'll think of something else. I'll just do that. Okay. And so once this is done, we'll see a screen. And at this point, your Firebase project will exist. And also it'll automatically match a Google Cloud project ID behind it. So think of this as kind of a subset of a Google Cloud project, uh, but it's specifically a Firebase one. So right here, yeah. So you guys see the screen? Okay, wonderful. All right. So there's several things that we'll be doing here. So we'll be connecting it to a database. That means that the data will be persistent. So for instance, when we press like generate a joke, like that joke will be stored and it'll be stored forever unless you delete it. And that's just kind of to show like how you would wire these two things together. When you guys build your own app, this is very important, having persistent data store. The other thing we're doing, deployment, what does that mean? Basically, we're when you develop things, they run locally unless you give it to a machine called a server that can serve everyone. So the way to access your app will be through a link that anyone can open, and that's what deploying is. Basically, telling the cloud, telling Firebase that, listen, given this code, just return that code to people that give you the link, and when they receive that code, they'll see what your app is. Um, and yeah, I hope that was intuitive. But anyways, on the right hand side, go to build right here, and then go to Firestore database. Click that. And then here, right here on the top, create database. So this just like doesn't matter, standard edition. You can select a different location if you want, doesn't matter. And just select create for everything. You don't have to change anything. In production mode. Okay, now we're looking at our data, which is nothing right now, but we're gonna put stuff here later. And so yeah, one more thing. You guys seen this? Okay. Go to rules right here. You're on the data tab, right under database, go to rules. And here, because we're just building a simple app, like who cares about security, put anything crazy here. Just change this false to true, right? If true. And then press publish. Good? Okay. All right. So don't be putting your passwords here or anything. This is just to make the process easier for this direct connection. Okay. Now go back to build and go to hosting. Okay. And then press get started. So here it's going to tell you to run these things in your command line. We don't need to do that. Okay, we're gonna have a shortcut here. Just press next, next, and go to console. Okay, so you are given this like placeholder URL. If you go on it, you know, it's saying, oh, I don't know what the code is. And we'll give it code later, so don't worry about it. But this is the link that you'll be using to access it. And so, yeah. And another thing to know is like once you build an actual app, like let's say after a little hackathon today, you want to like keep pursuing that idea, you can change this link to be anything. Well, you have to buy a website domain, but yeah. So they actually have buttons, add custom domain, and all that, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Okay, cool. The next thing, um, open a new Chrome tab and search up Firebase Studio. Not console, studio. So now we're going to another thing. Give me a sec. Okay, just to explain this, so Flutter, it takes like 20 to 40 minutes to download sometimes. There's a lot that comes with it. We don't want to sit here for that long. Like we don't have a lot of time. So luckily, there's an emulator on the browser that simulates like VS Code Flutter project. And it's integrated with Firebase. So these are the two things we'll be using, which is very convenient. So you guys see this? Go to try Firebase Studio. Okay. And you should see something like this. On the bottom right here, new workspace. Press that. Am I going too fast? No? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Do you see this screen? Right here, new workspace. Right there. Click that. Okay. Now we go to mobile and select Flutter. Okay, and you can name it whatever you want. Yeah, I'll just name it that. And then press create. Okay, I need to delete something. Okay. You guys shouldn't be seeing that screen. Okay. And so now it's gonna set up your Flutter environment. It'll take like a minute or two. We'll just wait a little. There's a lot that comes with this, but when it does load, you'll have your entire like code workspace with all the Flutter files, and we can start coding immediately. It gives you a command line too. It gives you an emulator for Android and for web. And so pretty convenient. Let's just wait a little. So the only kind of downsides of Firebase Studio, like obviously, like if you want to keep working on your app, you should set up the real thing. The only real downside is it's a little like clanky. Sometimes it doesn't like has trouble like making API calls and stuff. Hopefully we don't run into that. The other thing is the hot reload feature, which I talked about earlier, is a great feature of Flutter. It's a little bit more difficult to perform. I don't know. You guys shouldn't be seeing this. I think it's because I had to delete a project for this. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't last too long. But yeah, the hot reload feature, it's just not that good on Firebase Studio. It's kind of meant for you to just like play test and like dump your code and see how it works. But yeah, I might have to. All right, give me a minute. You don't even have to use it. Fuck this game. The real was genuinely really fun. Basis, so now you every basic you really need. Impact claims like sprites, music. What if we made like a 2D extraction shit? I think that's a reasonable goal. Extracting. Yeah, because I don't think anyone's made that before. Yeah. That's just kidding. You have to like in the time. Oh, I see. Like have you ever played super? No, I see. Super balance. I know it's like Fortnite, but it's like 2D. So it's like top down. Okay. So if you look at the little tiny URL I sent you, if you missed a step, I put the console little guide, the screens you should see, in the Firebase Studio guide. Okay, so mine looked like it loaded finally. Google kind of let me down for a second. But do you guys see this screen where you got to select the Google Cloud project? Okay, wonderful. Just select the one that you just made in Firebase console, and this will link the Firebase Studio to your actual GCP project. Yeah. Yeah, if it didn't prompt you, it like again, like Firebase Studio is a little clanky. Just try refreshing it. Try going here, this Firebase button, click that and just go back into your project. But eventually it will prompt you. This is just kind of something they built to be experimental. It's not like a robust dev tool. Otherwise, there should be a button here that says like link to project if you know you haven't already. But yeah, just keep like pinging it, and then I will prompt you. Yeah, I'll wait like a minute or two. Raise your hand if you were able to link it to your project. Okay. Raise your hand if you think I'm going a little too fast. Okay. Um, for the people that are a little that feel a little rushed, are you able to catch up with the guides that I gave you right here in the tiny URL? Yeah? Okay. So tinyurl.com/flutterbase, the capital F, and it'll show you a step-by-step guide. Okay.
You'd select.
All right. Um, yeah. I'll just continue from here. If you need help, raise your hand. Um, but yeah. So here we have our terminal. Okay. We also have Gemini, so you can use that when we get into our little hackathon. Um, but inside this folder, I wish I could zoom in. Oh, there we go. There's a lib folder. Click on that, and there's main.dart. And so you can actually see that it emulated your app, and it's like a starter app where you can push this button. This is an Android emulation. Okay. But this is the code that we'll be modifying this main.dart. First, to make sure that it's connected to our Google Cloud project. So the first thing is to go to console and type in Firebase init. And I'll dump the command in the little thing. By the way, on the Google Doc that I shared with you guys, there's tabs. The first tab is about Firebase console, second tab Firebase Studio. I'll add a third one right now with some of the commands we're running. Okay. So once you run Firebase init, this makes it so hard to zoom in here. Yeah. Ugh. Now I can't zoom out.
Did it with your like
I know, yeah. It's just not letting me zoom out again.
control and scroll button?
I'm not gonna zoom anymore. Okay. Yeah. So once you run Firebase init, select only and only Firestore and hosting. And you select it by hovering over it and pressing the space bar. So Firestore and then hosting, not app hosting, hosting. And then press enter. Can you guys read that, by the way? Like, I don't know. I can't make it bigger for some reason. Okay. If you need help reading it, just let me know. But it's going to ask you to select an option. Select use an existing project. So press enter while hovering over it. And then select the one that you made in the Firebase console by going over it, hovering it, and pressing enter. And then it's gonna ask you some questions. Just press enter. We're gonna use the default settings here. Except for maybe the GitHub one, put in no. We don't need to do that. By typing in N, pressing enter. Okay. All right. Now let's see if it's connected. Type in Firebase space use and see if it gives you the project name that you gave it. And I put that in the doc. This is just to verify that we indeed did connect with it. Okay. Is everyone good? Okay. Cool. So, all right. Several things we're going to do. So we're going to be using some libraries and dependencies here. So the first thing is to go to the files. That's in this file icon right here. Open your files. And go to the one at the bottom called pubspec.yaml. And if you guys ever worked on like a coding project before, maybe like you used Python, used requirements.txt, this is essentially that. So go to where the dependencies are. And under Cupertino icons, just press enter and make sure it's on the same like line as it, so it's not indented in any way. And I'll put it in the doc where you guys copy and paste, okay? Wish I could make it more. Okay, we're gonna be adding those two dependencies. Yeah.
This.
Oh, really? Okay. Then when you do that, run in your terminal Flutter pub get. I'll put that in the doc too.
Dependencies did we?
We added Firebase Core and Cloud Firestore. So if you look at the tiny URL doc I sent you.
Good.
Okay, yeah.
You want just. But I can. Six packages. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then two more commands to run after that. I'll put them in the doc too.
Yeah. Is it? No, it is a true.
Okay, so I put two more commands to run after Flutter pub get. The second one, there's an argument where you put your project name, put your actual project name there. If you forgot it, there's a command Firebase use. If you look above, and just put exactly what I gave you there. So no strings, no nothing. Just put your project name. Does that make sense?
How about you just run it like that? I mean, it says default something, but how about you just run it?
Because we don't want to like add the code and then there's like a bunch of things that are like red and like it just looks ugly. Yeah, we're just gonna dependencies right now. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys the code to a dummy app right now, just to test if our Fire store is working, and if it isn't, we'll fix it. But let me give you guys the code real quick. Okay, so this is some default code. I put it on the third tab. Just copy and paste it, and then here. And go to your main.dart, select everything and just dump it. Command A, Command V. Oh, I still need to run some commands. Sorry, what? Main.dart within lib. Yeah, just overwrite the existing lib file or a main.dart file. Give me a sec while I run Flutterfire.
From the package, Firebase options dot. Package, that's the error.
Okay, let me see if I get it after I run these two commands.
Why is great at setup this great plastic project? Great file.
Okay, are you seeing the error?
On line 30.
Yes.
See the Firebase.
It's still spelling. Okay, did you run these commands right here? Okay. Yeah, it's in the doc. This right here, being your project name, just run Firebase use and just copy and paste the little thing in parentheses. Yeah. Should get rid of it. It'll add a new file called Firebase options.dart within your lib. So this part is messy with commands because we're basically wiring these two things together. And so, I mean, that's just the nature of it. Like, yeah, once you run that, does everyone have their code like errorless? Or is everyone caught up?
Enter.
Yeah.
Did you paste?
I put it in the tiny URL doc that I sent. Do you have access to that?
Like when?
Oh, where do you put it? Sorry. So in the files right here, there's a lib folder. This is where like your source code is. Just main.dart. It's a special file. Just like select everything and dump that code in. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Do you need help? Okay, got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Two more commands.
Firebase use.
Yeah.
Okay, I put two more commands. First is npm IG whatever. You can just copy and paste it. Okay. And then the second one, Firebase login. For Firebase login, you can put whatever you want for the first question. Enable Gemini. You can just press enter. Just press enter. And so what it'll do is it'll give you this long, ugly URL. Hold command and then click it, or just copy and paste it into a new tab. It's going to ask you to sign in on Google. The same Google account that you made this project in. Does that make sense? Okay, so sign in here. Okay, and that's going to ask you this. Just say, yes, I ran this command. And I mean, if you want to check, you can like just say, yes, this is my session ID. And it'll give you this authorization code. And then you go back, you copy it and you paste it where it's asking you for it, and it'll log you in. All good? Yeah. Raise your hand if you got to this point. Cool. All right. Few more things. Go where the files are. I don't know, like 7 files from the bottom. Firebase.json. Gonna look a little ugly, but try finding where it says public. You can do Command F too. We'll say public something. So by default, say public. We're changing the second public to web slash, sorry, my bad, build slash web. And I'll put that in the doc too.
Where's the flag? I'm in Firebase and asking you JSONing.
Okay. I put it in the doc. It's in tab 3. Okay. Then, then we're going to run a command that we're going to run a lot. And I'll put that there too. but this will basically build the code into an executable that can run in your web. We're not going to do mobile app. I mean, you can, but it's too janky. So the point is like it works on mobile too. And so let me just do it. There's a way to have it in like mobile view as well, but it will be running in our browser.
No errors on that.
So it's Flutter web and Firebase deploy only hosting. I put it in the tab 3. And it should say compiling lib/main.dart for the web. When it's done, it's actually going to feed us that same link we saw earlier. When we click on it, if all goes well, it'll show this new dummy code that we put. So it's deploying. And this link you can give to your friend, they can open it too. So it's not just on your computer now. And that's because we're hosting it. So go to the hosting URL. You don't care about the console right now. And command click. And it should look like this. Real-time Firestore demo, no messages. There's a button, add message. It just adds some ugly looking text. But the point is, if you go to your Firebase console, so if you have that tab still open, if not, search up Firebase console, access your project that you made. And you go to Firestore databases, well, look at that. It stored this data. It just some random text with a timestamp. But if it did that, we're connected. We have it hosted. We have it connected to a real-time database. And now we can have a little bit of fun with it. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go through the code too much. I thought I would have more time here, but Google glitched on me. But so I'll give you guys 2 more commands to run, and then honestly just the full code for this app, and I'll explain parts of it. But we want to make time for the hackathon, and so yeah. Yeah. So 2 more commands to run. Flutter pub add Google Generative AI and Flutter pub add Cloud Firestore. And these in your terminal. The shortcut here is it actually adds it to your pubspec.yaml. And it has it so your environment recognizes these 2 libraries immediately. Then I'll give you the code in a sec.
Installation complete. How to do it?
Okay. And now for the final product. Yeah, I dumped the code. I made a new tab. I called it final product. You can just Command A and replace the existing main.dart file with it. Okay. Once you do that, recall the command that I gave you with the ampersands. I'll put it there again. But it's the Flutter build web and Firebase deploy. If you press the up arrow while in the terminal, it should like 2 commands up, the third last command. Let's run that again. This will rebuild it. Okay. And once it does that, you can go back to your tab that's hosting it. You can refresh it. And maybe it takes a little to kick in, but there it is. If you want to see it in like kind of a mobile view, you can go to inspecting element. There's a button here where you can change it between mobile and desktop view. And here, you can click it. And boom. So several things you can change in this code here. You can add an icon here for advice or a joke. And you can change the temperature. By the way, like, don't ever do this, but I gave you guys my API key just to make it faster. I'll deactivate it after, don't worry. But right here, you can actually change the temperature to make it like less random or more random. But yeah, let's talk about the code a little. So this is the app, it's cool. And if you look at your database, refresh it, it'll actually store these permanently. So advice and jokes. And so you can see when they were made. And just to talk about the code a little bit. So one of the building block of Flutter is something called a widget. And it's essentially like a Lego piece. You kind of just like snap them together and stack them on top of each other to make buttons, text, screens, whatever. And so, yeah. So every time you press a button here, like every time you press give me a joke, essentially, it makes an API call to Google's Vertex API, aka their Gemini, and it'll ask for a batch of 10 advices or 10 jokes, and then it'll actually load that batch in the code so that it doesn't have to make that call all the time. and then it just like waits for you to press it, and then when you do, it stores it. But yeah, for the sake of time, I'm not gonna get into like the technicalities of Flutter too much, but there's some yeah, I don't know how much of this I have to get into, but like basically like you have like um a main build method. This is like the equivalent of main in any other programming language. And this returns like one widget. The widget actually has a bunch of children. So everything's a widget, including the app itself. And then there's this concept of statelessness and statefulness. Uh, no need to explain it too much, but statefulness just makes it so when data updates, when data that the app has experiences a change, it's reflected live. And yeah, I mean, like I don't want to get into it too much, but it's a cool little app and a good place to start a little. And now the extra fun part is time to get creative, and it's time to build your own little project. So you guys are going to compete right now for a mini hackathon for a chance to win first place prize, AirPods 4, maybe I don't know, bro. I don't even know. AirPods, come on. So second place prize. Let's actually go here. Second place Alexa Echo Pop. Third place prize Apple AirTag. These two, unfortunately, we don't have them on us right now, so we'll give you like placeholder prizes, but you'll get them soon. Don't worry. Um, but yeah, this is how we'll be judging it. Yeah, I'd strongly encourage you guys to use AI tools. As you guys saw, Gemini was right there. It's not the best Gemini, so maybe you open a new tab. But it's about creativity, and I mean, you see the scoring criteria right here. And so yeah, we will set a timer.
Yes.
Abiru, 15 minutes. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I'll just open a 15-minute timer. You guys want to do 10 minutes or 15 minutes? 15? Raise your hand for 15. Raise your hand for 10. Okay, 15. 15 minutes. I'll set a timer right now. Good luck.
Get the slide deck on Discord, please.
Yeah. These ones?
It's more than an
Okay, I just need the judging criteria.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll put that in the point.
You can even feel free to grab the pizza if you're leaving right now, and feel free to stay for the hackathon if you want. The 15 should be easy. No, but you get our blessings too. I can see it. You can like that. Okay, see if this
Okay, I put the scoring rubric on the final tab in that doc that I shared with you guys. Let me know if you guys want anything else, all right?
I just make sure like it's completely black, like, that's already. Yeah, agent for example, if we. 15.
Let's see.
And then
So you were following this.
the. Or. And. Anyway, no, for holding everything. I mean, I'll be dropped. I think it's.
So you were on the step, this one.
Right.
This one in it? Okay. Here.
Nathan.
Have all of our.
Wait, okay. If you want, but I don't have, right, exactly, okay, whatever you want is gonna be here, right?
Basically, like there's like features in Flutter that aren't built into it directly because they try to make it as like keep it like relatively minimal because they don't want to like overkill it. Yeah. So if you want to use these, you have to import it from the outside, and so that's basically what we're doing. So add that. Remember, like it's a file called like requirements.txt. Yeah, it's like close enough. Just gonna add. So Firestore, Firebase.
Yeah, maybe. I can't tell you. You can't tell me. We're enemies. You're like Zuck. You're probably Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg and your two twins.
I would.
I will build you a skill tree based on number of creators.
No, like actually like the actual.
Environment. Come on, I.
Now, what are you doing?
Got this one.
Making data structures and algorithms. Passing 310. Here you can go. It was cool to meet you, Thomas. Have a good career. That too. I'm good.
Hey, then.
This is just like a little code.
Dude, it's making files. I don't know what the files will do. It just keeps saying, now I want to create.
It'll actually write it to your data. So it's really.
Will not compile, fixing error. Dude, this is kind of sick.
So it's gonna get a little crazy.
Honestly, this is so sick, now that it's working. It's updating the paper. You're just creating.
It's command.
I'm a genius. So easy.
Oh.
Like me. It's so easy. It's like not even.
My entire environment is breaking down.
Why didn't I do it flawlessly? And yours like having the errors that I have to fix. It just
I think that goes in.
And running, oh wait, it's running, wait, how do I? See my app? Make startups. Go into deploy. So here, see it here, right, after deploy, just like whatever account you use to make.
Try it.
Click. It's just like asking.
It's across that. Maybe.
I type Flutter deploy. Build web, yeah, Firebase. Environment, Jack. Gemini. Alright, so this command's pretty important. Go to like something that can actually. Somewhere and see. Compilation error. And it's also gonna deploy it. Classic. So I'll also give you the link. It's hosted on.
Only you're not supposed to. Refresh the page maybe.
See if it works.
It's not a patient.
Like this stuff. This is just trying to. No, I give it a whole. You think that would be better though? So. Gemini. Yeah. You just copy and paste this one. Just fixed it. Let's finish this building. The link should update to that we built. I know it's not working. It should read through your database too. Or right to your database as well. Like my, from there, I mean, like, if you wanna spend like the last 5 minutes just changing it, yeah, you can change the prompts too. Like, you can just change it. Yeah, or you can do something completely different.
I literally can't, I can't.
Yeah, I think. So here's
I can't prompt engineer, bro.
You know, I'm so confident I'm gonna win. Like, they listed this process. It's like. Over. No, you don't do it. It's just like the user prompt. Like what you give to judge. Like personality. Whether it's like, I mean, 10 family friendly jokes, you can write it, you can write details here. I mean, like. You should hire me to be.
There's something going wrong.
Yeah. It's kind of. You don't say. Yeah.
I'm able to resolve all we can do now. Giving in.
You built it. New error.
You guys want?
Love pizza.
You did right.
My page is frozen. Not winning the hackathon.
I'm wasting time is what I'm doing.
You are?
Just trying to win this thing because Gemini jacked my code.
It deployed. It deployed. You want to see what it did? It didn't deploy.
You have to redeploy it
What do you mean after redeploy?
manually. Wait yourself.
What do you mean? I typed in the command Flutter build web.
You can just change main Dart.
If that is it. Yeah, you change all kinds of stuff, dude. Wait. This sucks. What is this?
Click on it. Click on it.
I mean, okay, that's kind of interesting, but it sucks so bad, right? Like that is
Yeah, I love
terrible.
how.
You can dip the like the bump. And then, yeah, crazy, crazy, fun.
Yeah, I'm not leaving that, and if you guys can shit on that would be nice. I have my paper. Okay. Yeah. Yes, yes. Both of them are rich, that's just the juice and has.
Minutes. Yeah.
इसका चला ही नहीं है एक दबाने पे पॉइंट बेबी का मतलब इसको कितना चला ये इसका चला उसका लास्ट और इसको कुछ क्या करना है ये तो ये सब बनाना है क्या करना है
All right. You can keep cranking as we set this up real quick.
So you guys have to submit it now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this is a submission. So it's 7:50 now, and we'll only review the submissions which are submitted by like 7:55.
You provide the link.
Yes, that's the link. Just scan the
QR
QR
code.
Scan the QR. It's a Google form. You just have to provide the GitHub repository link. You can push it to GitHub, you know. Put to GitHub. Yes, GitHub link for the project. Just make it public. Commit the project to GitHub.
I just have the different.
What is this format? Because they deployed on a website. I can just look at the link too.
Sure. Okay. If you guys two things, you haven't deployed it. If you're not able to completely deploy, just provide the GitHub link so that we can see that you were able to do something. If you were able to deploy it completely, just put your full name in the Google form, and that, just put your project name and we can just review them one by one. If you have deployed it, like if it's running on the local host or like however you have deployed it.
I just put the link that Flutter deployed it to.
Yeah. Well, but I don't think that would open on our end, right?
Yeah, no, it deploys to
Oh, you deployed it already?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Did you get the link?
You can get a link. What? You can get like.
Thanks. Yeah, you just have to commit it to GitHub. Make it GitHub project. Yeah, public repo.
Either the public GitHub repo link or the actual deployed link, so we can see the app itself.
Yes.
If you didn't manage to deploy it, I mean, you can with that command I sent. Then you can just give the code.
Yeah. I just submitted the link to the actual app.
Reach out to us in Discord.
Yeah, I mean.
Did you deploy it on? Were you able to complete the app or?
Can I submit the app link to the thing? Like also, not the GitHub, because I have to like.
Yeah, the actual.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. We prefer that honestly. It's just like if. For instance.
Do like a presentation, like I said, or no?
I think so.
Yes.
We can do presentations.
No presentations, because we're short of time, we just like. Can you?
I just. Yeah. Will that process? Yeah, okay, yeah, just submit that, we should be able to see.
I was able to. I just sent it.
Yeah, we'd prefer.
Sure,
that.
can you write your name and submit to them?
I would prefer if you just submitted the deployed link. The GitHub link is only if you didn't manage to deploy it. So yeah, if that makes sense.
You were in the front.
How many submissions? Like a 90%.
That's the, oh yeah, that's the finer one. I think 120 is the.
That's what I was, yeah.
100.
You see this up.
No. You cannot. No. You were the one submitting, right? Yes.
So. He doesn't all use it.
So decided. And I'll show you. Sometimes let me show you. Here. We have to review it right now. So we cannot help you. But if you're running it locally, you're running it locally. Submit it on the. Just submit your project. All good. We'll review it. Just keep it going. Not accepting it. Just submit the Google form. Submit your project. We'll review it. Yes. Oh, it's fine. We're only gonna review until 7:55. So we have. All right. Everyone was able to submit their forms, right? Like, even if you were not able to deploy it, somehow you were able to submit the name of the project and like instead of the GitHub link, right? We'll still ask you for that. For the ones who were able to deploy it, you just review your submissions. You want to give a demo pitch or anything, you just review it based on the grading criteria that we gave. They were not, if it's well, if it's working or not, based on those.
Hey, Abhiru, I think we didn't get like a chance to tell like why it's relevant, why it's needed. So if you're judging mine, let me know. I want to talk about it.
Sure. Don't worry. Anything for the airports.
I want to talk about it. Yeah. Anything. Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah, I think we're good. You said using to.
Evan S. Evan S. Who's Evan S?
Can you hear?
Okay. Well. All right. You want to come up?
So this just speak for one. You get 30 seconds, present your idea. Rather than review the submissions, but it will be fair for you all, like, what's the idea behind, maybe that can give you like an edge or something. Discuss with first convinces. Yes. Give your project. Mariam Khan. 2 years in the meantime. For time, let's shift. Okay.
Okay. I'll see.
Bye, Avish.
He's raw.
Where's some? You want me to talk about? Okay. Go for it, but I have one different.
Okay. When we call your name up, just bring your laptop. Yeah, so we can see it real quick. See it.
I just.
Awesome.
Thank you. What do you think, guys? No, yeah.
I think I want to. Really certain. Use like the dictation, just like yell at your, I hate how they're doing this, now they're doing this. So it's
Thank you so much. Pratik Day. Pratik, hey. Pratik, are you Pratik?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was totally. Got 30 seconds.
There you go.
Sure. Suraj Sanjay Shinde. Right, let's do 3, 2.
No, it's just a year. You didn't like to be.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Hey, I'm fine.
Yes. Right, so you have 30 seconds.
Let it be short. Say send, it's actually professional. It's to them. So instead of just yelling at them.
I like
trouble,
it.
I use it if I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny. Thank you, good job.
Akash Bakshi.
So you
Ideas.
4 a.m.
Can you bring your laptop?
You watch my stuff.
That's okay, sure.
That works.
And just. Hold the API. Then I can put it. Cards.
We just wanted that. Thank you so much.
I know. Yeah, ideas.
Yeah, sure.
How did you say your name again?
It's awesome. Better.
इसका देख भाई ऋषित का देख प्रोजेक्ट बैकग्राउंड में देखो क्या हुआ मैं
Thank you.
We'll be announcing. Sarthak Mishra. Sarthak, do we have Sarthak here?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, after Sarthak is done, we have Harshvardhan and then Ang. Okay, yeah. Just bring your laptops. Okay.
Getting hold on. Leave it. Good name, Wallace, not bad. Wallace. Last week, I will make a swim. Once I click on it, it will be. Big wheel, and then female age. Second big whale age. If I open it, see, use cut numbers and will run.
That's the good thing, how you're like proving the.
Then npm command to react that. Or you just summarize.
You have like
Because I'm
unless you can. Sorry, I assume that
Asian development.
Thank you so much. After that, we have Ryan and Kantemir.
I never answer you.
You mean easy, bro. So, okay, this is actually specifically this. But you don't know, right, make this, where you can create, let's say you create a session. This is basically this, you hybridly get everything. So. Main problem is that it's hard to tell. So. I have is that.
Like me.
If you press this there, you'll also show a big red screen. One on your finger. But then for somebody to walk around the back, it'll show a big red screen beside it. You actually just see it. Because I'm willing to bet if you don't know who actually needs help.
Yeah.
And they don't want to raise their hand and they want them to bet half of them. I saw the one Gemini found it. And I think it would be better if they show it and you just walk over. All of them don't want to go on GP.
It's pretty useful. I like that. Ryan.
Oh, alright, my app too. Okay, so my app is basically a shared expense tracker for roommates, because I've been looking. So the idea of having a roommate, off campus. So in summary, so this is you can input how many you have here, and then you can add various expenses, like if I add groceries. Like let's say $200 on like a monthly basis, it would get split among the two roommates, and you can change the amount of roommates you have, and it automatically changes how much you would split once.
That's split by but not paid.
Yeah.
Good job.
But I also.
Kantemir. I was thinking again.
That's crazy.
The last person I probably met. I was like, what's
That was the only stand that I ever saw from.
Plenty of students.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. This solves the issue of this. I had myself the issue.
So this one will look like as you credentials. Potentially, it will show you all the departments that you can track, and it will show you the reminder. If the seats open, some seats will see them. The manual activity sounds really.
Let's see if I have the reactions. And I that's knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dan, but I have to like. Hope. I've heard most of all. Should we keep it for the last? Sarat. Be excited.
So.
Your energy.
Me? We find out.
So there are a lot of apps out there which tracks introduction, right, or visit those. So what is, like, when we have, what if there's a way to track it, have a React and once that is done,
You wanna show the app?
yeah, yeah, so you can just.
So you have to be able
What are you can save all your feelings in a clip, and then at the end of the day, it can give you insights and then you need to for the mistake.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Akash. Akash Kipper.
That's doing pretty good. They have read it. I did it really. I think I for like 4 rounds. Because actual
Increase or decrease the round.
Your UI was very intuitive. Kshitij. Kshitij, Akash, Dumbre.
How many more? Aviru? How many more?
2 more. You're Kshitij, right? Rajesh, and then after that.
So. Well. They just roam around the sample, they waste their time, they waste class. So here's like simple action, like if I'm spot and or add any building, like the memory for A, 23 spots in 10 minutes, I'm leaving in 10 minutes. You can have that. So you can see the colors code, like this is going to expire in a minute and I'm going to leave 20 minutes live up. So like you can automatically see like each place is like have the activity. So like you can like directly find the exact parking spots. So
Thank you so much. This is very useful. I think we're getting so many nice ideas. Like everyone just like peak their creativity and like we're not even like peak. Like you guys are so nice. Like in Rajesh, right? Right. Thank you so much. Okay. Please.
maybe creativity. That's why you have this.
Or the way to get it, like, okay, bro, I can wait on, put it in the house. That's like. Yeah. Sounds like a tricky. Actually. Like they all.
That's a solid example.
This is like.
Benefits of that. There's the API key, I think.
I don't license. Yeah, my guy was like.
Yeah.
Right now. So.
And like,
What is that?
I think it's like.
What you can. I could have a plan with you if I didn't want it.
Yeah.
But oh no. You made the play with me back. Oh, let's go. That's how we do it. But you get the. Nice. Go.
Essentially, it would.
We don't want to.
That's pretty good.
No, I love the idea. All right, guys, 5 quick minutes. We'll just announce it super quick, you know. Yeah.
In the form closes just as soon as.
So some people submitted it even after 9:55, 7:55. There were 3 submissions after 7:55, but people close at sharp because we have time limit. Next time, maybe, you know. I'm really sorry. I mean, if it were up to us, we'd give AirPods to everyone. There's just so many amazing.
Aviroop is very generous.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to go check it?
There's no way.
Give the vote. You want to give it to the. You submitted it. They were not able to.
All right.
Yeah.
I was. So I had like. Okay, so you're pretty good. You still got, you got it.
Would you be defined?
Are you applying for?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll write with my. This sync will come out. What's the art? Yeah. It's the experience has been kind of bad.
नहीं ये पर्सन नहीं